Think like a CEO. Mental models that transform careers. Some people wait years to get promoted. Others shape companies. Some struggle to find clarity at work, while others create vision. What's the difference? It's not just position, it's how they think. The most successful CEOs don't just work harder, they think better. They rely on clear mental frameworks to simplify complexity, make confident decisions, and lead people with vision. These frameworks, or mental models, are what separate average professionals from strategic thinkers. In this video, we'll break down 5 powerful mental models used by successful CEOs and how you can apply them to transform how you work, solve problems, and grow your career. Whether you lead a team, project, or just yourself, these thinking tools will give you an edge. 1. First principles thinking. Cut through assumptions. Most people solve problems by analogy. They ask, what's worked before? Or, what are others doing? But CEOs often use first principles thinking. They strip problems down to their core facts and rebuild from there. Instead of assuming, they ask, what do I know for sure? What's just tradition, habit, or assumption? If I were starting from zero, what would be the smartest way? This model helps CEOs find creative, cost-effective solutions. It breaks them free from legacy thinking, outdated systems, and industry cliches. It's how Elon Musk reimagined rockets and how great leaders reinvent failing teams. In your own career, first principles help you challenge outdated workflows, identify smarter strategies, and make decisions based on logic, not legacy. It gives you clarity when others are stuck repeating what doesn't work. It's also a powerful model during crisis. When familiar methods collapse, those who can think from scratch, not just copy others, become the ones who lead the rebuild, set direction, and command long-term trust. More importantly, first principles build confidence. You stop depending on external approval or industry norms and start trusting your reasoning. It transforms how you handle risk, structure ideas, and execute bold initiatives. Rebuilding from first principles doesn't just help solve problems, it trains you to think originally, question deeply, and stand out as a proactive thinker in any organization. Second-order thinking. See beyond the first impact. Most people stop at the first outcome. CEOs think in layers. They ask, what happens next? That's second-order thinking, the ability to anticipate consequences, ripple effects, and long-term impact. Let's say you cut costs to boost profit. First-order impact, margins improve. But second-order, employee morale drops, service declines, and retention suffers. A short-term win becomes a long-term loss. CEOs use this model constantly. They ask, what could this unintentionally trigger? How might this affect reputation, team culture, or future operations? Is this solution sustainable or just reactive? Second-order thinking helps you see around corners. It prevents you from rushing into decisions that feel right in the moment but hurt you in the long run. It teaches patience, systems thinking, and foresight. This model also supports ethical leadership. Many poor decisions seem profitable now, but carry hidden ethical, emotional, or operational costs. CEOs who think ahead protect their people, reputation, and bottom line all at once. When you understand not just the outcome, but the chain reaction a decision creates, your thinking becomes sharper, deeper, and more respected by stakeholders who trust long-term logic over instant solutions. When others react, you anticipate. That's leadership. 3. Inversion thinking. Avoid failure. First, now fully extended. What if the smartest way to succeed isn't to chase success, but to avoid failure? That's the logic behind inversion thinking, a mental model used by CEOs to identify what could go wrong before it does. Instead of asking, what should I do to succeed? They ask, what would cause this to fail? What are the common mistakes people make here? What risks are hiding in this decision? It flips the problem on its head, and it's surprisingly effective. Inversion thinking doesn't make you negative. It makes you resilient. It forces you to think preventively, build safeguards, and reduce blind spots. In project planning, it means identifying where delays, miscommunication, or budget overages typically happen and planning around them. In personal development, it means spotting habits or mindsets that sabotage growth and removing them early. This method also builds decision resilience. By predefining failure points, you reduce surprise impact, stay emotionally prepared, and move faster when unexpected problems arise. It's not fear-based thinking, it's calculated protection. Inversion trains you to lead from foresight, not hindsight. You eliminate avoidable setbacks, protect your credibility, and design solutions with long-term durability. The fewer things that break, the more momentum you sustain. Most failures are preventable. CEOs use inversion to avoid disasters before they start, and the fewer problems you create, the more energy you have to innovate and lead. 4. 80-20 rule, Pareto principle. Focus on what matters most. Not all work is equal. CEOs know that 80% of results often come from just 20% of actions. That's the Pareto principle, a mental model that drives how leaders prioritize. Rather than trying to do everything, they ask, what are the few tasks that create the most value? What distractions consume time but produce little? Where is the highest return on effort? This model helps CEOs cut through noise and complexity. They focus on strategic work, decisions, relationships, direction, and delegate or drop what's inefficient. It's not laziness, it's leverage. In your own career, using 80-20 thinking means spending more time on what actually moves the needle. Key skills, high-impact relationships, and goals that align with your long-term growth. It also reshapes how you approach time. When you focus only on the 20% that brings results, you avoid burnout, reduce decision fatigue, and create a more balanced, high-performing work life. 80-20 thinking also unlocks clarity during chaos. Instead of being overwhelmed by 50 tasks, you zero in on the 2 or 3 that truly matter. This is how high-level leaders simplify complexity under pressure. Most professionals burn out doing low-impact work. CEOs elevate by protecting their energy and investing it where it matters. The 80-20 rule helps you do less, but achieve far more. 5. Circle of Competence. Know where you're strong and stay there. CEOs are rarely experts in everything. What makes them effective is their clarity on what they do know and the humility to admit what they don't. That's the Circle of Competence model. Instead of pretending to know everything, they focus on their zone of expertise. They ask, what do I deeply understand? Where can I make sound judgments? Where do I need help or input? They hire or consult others to fill the gaps. And this honesty protects them from reckless decisions. It's not weakness, it's wise leadership. In your career, this model helps you avoid overreaching or guessing in areas you're not trained for. It encourages continuous learning, asking better questions, and collaborating with people who know more than you in specific domains. It also sharpens your strategic value. The more you operate from your strength zone, the more consistent your performance becomes, and the more others begin to rely on you for high-stakes decisions in your specialty. It also keeps your ego in check. The best leaders aren't those who know everything, but those who know when to ask for guidance, when to delegate, and when to step back and listen. Your circle of competence is your strategic foundation. When you operate within it, your confidence is real, your results are solid, and your reputation strengthens over time. CEOs think differently, and so can you. Being a CEO isn't just about having a title or a team, it's about how you process complexity, evaluate risk, and lead with clarity. These 5 mental models aren't just business tools, they're personal upgrades. First principles help you clear assumptions and think originally. Second order thinking gives you foresight. Inversion thinking helps prevent unnecessary failure. The 80-20 rule focuses your energy on what truly moves results. Circle of Competence grounds you in humility and strength. Think like a CEO, not because you want the title, but because thinking this way transforms how you solve problems, lead others, and grow in any career. It's not about working more, it's about thinking sharper, strategically, decisively, confidently. If this video gave you value, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who wants to lead smarter. Drop a comment below. Which of these mental models will you start using first? Your next level starts with how you think. Lead it.